Hello everyone, you are welcome to another session of Python for All. In this session, I would run through an overview of the Thonny IDE. For Thonny IDE, I will leave a link for the installation in the description box. The Thonny IDE has a very simple graphic user interface. So to start with, once you have installed your Thonny IDE, you open the Thonny IDE. You have two window panes. The top window is the editor with the name Untitled, and below it is the shell. Right on top of the window, you have your menu bar, where you have very simple menus such as File, Edit, View, Run, Tools, and Help. Right beneath it, you have shortcuts to open an editor, to open a folder, to save, to run your code, to debug your code, and to stop your code. To the right, you have another window pane where you have variables declared in your code, help, and if you need some online help, you can also get with this when you are connected to the internet while using Thonny. So to start with, I will use the Thonny IDE to do a practical demonstration of the factorial function we discussed in our previous video. So here I will start by defining the function factorial, and it takes an argument n. Then I will go to the next line, and here I would put in my docstring. Well, we have not talked about docstring, but we will mention that in subsequent video and you will understand what docstrings are. So I will say this is a factorial function, right? I'll go to the next line and I'll simply close, or not to close the docstring, I would do something like this and say and put in a tab. I have arguments. It takes another tab, n, put in bracket int, and I'll define n is a positive number, right? And go down again, returns factorial of positive number. And I will go again and close my docstring. Now, the next line in that previous code, we had a conditional statement. Here, I will modify that conditional statement to factor in what happens when we have the factorial of a negative number, which we know actually does not exist. So I will say if n is less than 0, what should happen? Raise value error, and simply print. Here I use an F string, which I will explain subsequently in my videos. N must be positive. Then else, if n equals 0, I should return 1. Else, return n multiplied by factorial of n minus 1, and end this here. Now we can call the factorial function and say print factorial of 5. For me to do this, I need to save this file. So click save or Ctrl S. It takes you to here and you save factorial.py and you click OK. Once the file is saved, you can then go with this shortcut and say run current script or use F5, which is a shortcut. So I click run, you see it prints 120 on the shell, which is a factorial of 5. I can put some context to this and say, rewrite this to say, use another print statement with an F string to say factorial of 5 equals, and I'll put that in coil brackets and end it with a quotation mark. save this file again and run it. You see, it shows you factorial of 5 equals 120. Now, let's see what happens if I have the factorial of a negative number. In that case, I would highlight this, go to Edit, and comment out this. Or use the shortcut alternate plus F3 key. So here I will also say print factorial of -2 equals, and I'll call factorial and I'll pass in -2. Right. Again, save your file and run. You see what we have on the screen? An error pops up on our screen. We see a traceback, most recent call. Whenever you have this error, what you simply do is to go to the last statement. Okay? And what does the last statement say there? Value error -2 must be positive, which was actually the error conditional we placed in our code, such that when a negative number is imputed by the user, it simply returns a value error that number must be positive, else the factorial does not exist. With this, we have just done a practical demonstration of how we can use the Thonny IDE. Lest I forget, you can also do some customization with this, just like we did when we used the Spider IDE. Here you can change the fonts by going to Tools and Options. When you click, you see the pop-up window where you can look at the general interface. You can look at the interpreter, the editor, the theme and font, the run and debug, the terminal, the shell, the assistant. All of these you can tweak to your own preference. So once you are done changing any of these options, all you need to do is to simply click OK and close. So you can see that the Thonny IDE has a very simple user interface. With this, we have come to the end of this video session. If you have any question, please leave it in the comment section. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel if you have not done so, and hit the notification bell to get notified of new upload. See you in my next video.